Uncle Scrooge McDuck was known far and wide as the stingiest duck in the world. His vast fortune filled every corner of his money bin, but spending even a single coin made his feathers itch and his head spin. On this cold, snowy morning he stood at the front of his grand mansion, frowning at the thick layer of snow on his path. "Blasted," he muttered, glaring at his old bald broom, leaning uselessly against the doorframe. "It's no good. I can't sweep a speck with this thing anymore." He sighed deeply, clutching his wallet. "Pa, I suppose I must buy a new broom. What an outrageous waste of money." Muttering all the way, Uncle Scrooge trudged through the snow towards the shops in Duckburg. The biting wind nipped at his beak, and snowflakes gathered on his top hat. As he neared the bakery, his sharp eyes lit up. Leaning against the wall outside was a fine, sturdy garden broom. Its bristles gleamed, and it looked as though it could sweep the entire town clean with a single stroke. "Ha! Just what I need," Uncle Scrooge exclaimed. Without a second thought, he snatched up the broom and clutched it triumphantly. Just then, Donald Duck appeared, carrying a bag of freshly baked bread. He froze, watching Scrooge inspect the broom with glee. "Uncle Scrooge," Donald called. "Hey, you can't just take that broom." "Of course I can," snapped Scrooge, puffing out his chest. "I'm helping the town stay tidy by removing it. Folks shouldn't leave their belongings lying around. It's practically public property." Donald opened his mouth to argue, but before he could, something unexpected happened. The broom in Scrooge's hands began to shake. "Huh," Scrooge muttered, tightening his grip. Suddenly, the broom sprang to life. Whoosh! It shot straight up into the sky, with Uncle Scrooge clinging to it for dear life. "W-A-A-H." He squawked, his top hat flying off as the broom twisted and turned. The broom zoomed past chimneys, looped through the air, and twirled wildly. Uncle Scrooge clung to it with both hands, his spectacles slipping down his beak. Donald watched in shock, then burst out laughing. "Uncle Scrooge, I told you not to take that broom. It belongs to Madam Mim, the witch. It's a magic broomstick." "A magic broomstick," Scrooge wailed as the broom performed another loop-the-loop, making his stomach churn. "Jaw, Donald. Do something before I'm broomsick." At that moment, the door of the bakery swung open, and out stepped Madam Mim, carrying a warm loaf of bread. Her sharp eyes immediately spotted her enchanted broomstick, then the unfortunate unfortunate duck clinging to it. "Hey!" she yelled, waving her loaf at the sky. "Where are you taking my broomstick?" "It's not me taking the broomstick," howled Scrooge, now upside down as the broom spiraled through the air. "The broomstick is taking me. Please make it stop before I lose my lunch and my wallet." Madam Mim cackled with delight at the sight. "Serves you right, you greedy old miser," she shouted. But after a moment, she relented. With a snap of her fingers, the broom paused mid-air, then dived straight for the ground. Poof! Uncle Scrooge landed headfirst in a snowdrift, his legs sticking out comically. The broom floated gently back into Madam Mim's hand as she approached the snow-covered duck. "Next time you want a broom, meanie," Mim scolded, tapping him on the head with the broom handle. "Buy one for yourself." Donald helped a shivering, grumbling Scrooge out of the snow. His feathers were ruffled, his coat was dusted with white, and his pride was thoroughly bruised as the witch sauntered off with her broom. Scrooge dusted himself off and muttered, "Pah, witches and their tricks." But the experience had shaken him deeply. Later that day, the townsfolk watched in astonishment as Uncle Scrooge walked into the hardware store. He reluctantly handed over a coin just one and bought a brand new broom. "Unbelievable," whispered Donald, grinning as he watched from across the street. Maybe Uncle Scrooge learned something after all. And from that day on, whenever Uncle Scrooge needed something, he thought twice before trying to take it for free, especially if it might belong to a witch.